Welcome back, everyone. We just implemented our search and it's working perfectly. In this lesson, we're going to be adding in an improvement so that when a search returns just one entry, we automatically load it into the main dashboard section. This should be a quick one, but I want to do a quick recap. When we get an exact match or even a partial match that returns just one entry, like we saw when we did our Udemy search and when we did our partial search of BBB, we want to auto-load that single result into the main dashboard section. We can accomplish this pretty easily with turbo streams. So let's head back into our code. And we'll open up our app, controllers, entries controller. So remember that every time we submit our search form, we're sending that request to our index action. We're searching the current user's entries based on the value in the name key and our params hash. So let's first do a check to see if that name value is actually even present. So we can come down here and we're going to return unless params name dot present. Now, if it is present, we're storing the results from our search in our @entries variable right here. So we can come back down here and we can check to see the length of the array that's stored in our @entries variable. So we can do if @entries dot length equals 1. Then we can render our turbo streams. So we can do render turbo underscore stream, and then we'll open up an array. Now we'll be doing this a bit different than what we've done in our other actions. Here we're going to render our turbo streams inline instead of setting up a response file. Now, generally you're going to want to stick with response files, but we're only going to be making 2 streams here, and I wanted to show you that there are other ways to render turbo streams. And now we can add in our turbo streams as we would if we were in a response file. So we'll do turbo underscore stream dot update, and we'll be targeting our main dashboard. And then we'll render our entries main partial. So partial entries slash main, and then we need to provide our local variables. So locals, and this is going to need an entry, and we will do @entries.first. Now there is one thing we need to keep in mind here. If we enter into this block of code, we now have to account for all updates that we want to make to the page as a result of our form submission. So our first stream is targeting the main dashboard. We also need to add in another one to target the results of the search on the sidebar. So we can add a comma here. Remember, this is just an array. And then we can add in another turbo stream. We'll do turbo underscore stream dot update. And this time we're going to target our entries list. Entries dash list. Again, we'll need to render a partial, and this time will be our entries partial. So we'll do partial entries slash entry. And then again, we need to add in our local variables. So we'll do locals entry @entries.first. Okay, with this, we can hop into the browser and test it out. Let's go ahead and refresh. Now let's do the same searches that we did in the last lesson. So I'm going to start with Udemy. We'll do our exact search. Okay, great. So we get our Udemy back in our sidebar, and now we see Udemy automatically populated in the main dashboard. Perfect. Now let's try our BBB again, our partial match. Okay, great. We're seeing this work as expected. Now let's try our OO pattern. Okay, great. In this case, we don't know for sure what it should be, Facebook or Google, so we leave the main dashboard as is. Great work, everyone. This is a nice to have feature. The next thing I want to work on is, you may have noticed that I had to refresh the page each time I wanted to clear the search results and the main dashboard. Let's add a clear button right next to our search button, and this button will clear the sidebar results and reset the main dashboard section. We'll fire up a stimulus.js controller so we only show it when a user starts typing and when there is a value present in the input. We'll tackle this in the next lesson. I'll see you there.